Okay, so let's assume that you received a application from an international student or graduate, and they have been, successful in gaining your attention. How do you go about shortlisting that application? Is there a process that you work through?
Yeah, good question. So typically, there's obviously some very basic things that we would look for. Obviously, that they have definitely graduated and are working and are on track to get their registration as a registered nurse if they haven't already, that they've got rights to work in Australia. That's the other thing. It's a full-time program. We need to make sure that the candidate does have the right to work in Australia and on a full-time basis. So that's really important. They're the first very basic sort of hurdles. And from there, we look for a genuine interest, and how a genuine interest might look on a resume is they've done placement, work experience. As part of their studies, their side job was something to do with working with older people, or they've done some volunteering. Those applications will always make it to the top of the list in terms of they've had some exposure to the sector. Whether that be in a paid or an unpaid way. They've seen it, they've confirmed that they liked it, that's what they want to do. From there as well, because that still can provide us sometimes with a very long shortlist, we also have access to a kind of like a psychometric assessment. So it does a bit of a personality profile for us. We would send the shortlisted candidates a link to complete a psychometric assessment. A few short answer questions, takes about 10 minutes. And then that comes back to us with a bit of a report on how their responses determine how good of a fit they would be for this type of role.
Okay. And I assume the psychometric assessment is one of the readily available ones on the internet, like an eDisc or
we use a provider called Care Advantage, and they're specifically set up for the care sector.
Yeah. Okay, terrific. I think it's very helpful just to explain that to future students so that they understand the process that they can expect when they come to graduate. It kind of demystifies it a bit and helps them to prepare.